Many people pray, God, please bring this person back. But what if the pain you're feeling is not punishment? Is it protection? One of the hardest truths to accept as a believer is this. God does not remove people from your life to hurt you. He removes them to save you, especially when that person has the power to steal your peace, damage your future marriage, or slowly pull you into the flesh. Here are 5 clear biblical signs that God is protecting you from the wrong person. Sign 1. Your peace disappears, even when you try to ignore it. At first, everything feels exciting. Chemistry, attraction, emotional pull. But underneath it all, there is no peace. You feel anxious instead of calm, restless instead of settled, conflicted instead of assured. Colossians 3 verse 15 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule your hearts." That word rule means umpire. Peace is how God makes calls. When you are constantly confused, emotionally unstable, or spiritually unsettled around someone, that is not love. That is a warning. God will never lead you into a relationship. That requires you to silence your conscience, to stay connected. Sign 2. You have to compromise your values to keep them. Pay close attention to this one. You start doing things you used to resist. You stop praying the way you used to. You justify what you once called sin. You explain away red flags because you don't want to lose them. Galatians 5 tells us, the fruit of the Spirit is peace, self-control, and love. The fruit of the flesh is jealousy, lust, anger, and confusion. If being close to someone pulls you deeper into the flesh, God is not building something there. He is warning you. God will never ask you to betray who He is forming you to be, just to keep someone in your life. Sign 3. The relationship is always hard, but never holy. Every relationship requires effort, but not every relationship requires struggle. If the connection is full of drama, constant arguments, emotional manipulation, on and off cycles, and repeated wounds, yet there is no growth, no accountability, no spiritual alignment, that is not a battle worth fighting. James 3 verse 16 says, "Where envy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder." God's order brings clarity. The wrong person brings chaos and calls it passion. If you're always fighting to keep the relationship alive, instead of growing together in peace, God may be allowing it to fail, so it doesn't destroy you later. Sign 4. God keeps blocking the relationship, no matter how hard you try. This one is painful. You try again. You pray harder. You forgive more. You adjust yourself, but something always stops it. Conversations break down. Plans collapse. Doors close unexpectedly. Proverbs 16 verse 9 says, "A man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." Sometimes God doesn't speak loudly. He simply doesn't allow progress. When God is protecting you, He will frustrate your efforts, so you don't walk into something that will cost you years of healing. Closed doors are not rejection. They are direction. Sign 5. You love the idea of them more than the fruit of the relationship. Be honest with yourself. You're not in love with what is. You're in love with what could be. You see potential. You imagine change. You hold on to future promises while ignoring present pain. But Jesus said, you will know them by their fruit, not by their words, not by their intentions, by their fruit. If the relationship produces fear instead of faith, bondage instead of freedom, and confusion instead of peace, God is not removing a blessing. He is removing a burden. Here's the truth many believers don't want to hear. God loves you too much to let the wrong person feel right forever. Protection often feels like loss. Wisdom often feels like loneliness. And obedience often hurts before it heals. But the wrong relationship can delay your purpose, damage your future marriage, and slowly train your heart to accept less than God's best. If someone had to leave, for your peace to return, thank God. If distance brought clarity, thank God. And if you're struggling to let go, pray this simple prayer. Lord, remove anyone who is not helping me walk in the Spirit, even if my flesh doesn't understand. That prayer will change your life. If this message spoke to you, Share it with someone who needs clarity and comment, "God, I need your direction." And remember, God is not protecting the relationship. He is protecting you. Peace is not optional. It is guidance. God bless you.